to do today.
The whole new acronym thing drives me effing bananas. Can we call him by his name?
Felger and Mazz on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go. Exclusive new photos obtained by Page 6 show Dianna, Russini, and Mike Vrabel all over each other at a secluded New York City bar, 6 years before they were caught holding hands and hugging at an Arizona resort. The New England Patriots coach and the NFL reporter were spotted together inside the dimly lit Tribeca Tavern in the early hours of March 11th, 2020. They sat close to each other while conversing at the bar, at one point appearing to share a kiss. An eyewitness told Page 6, they were kissing and they were all over each other. He had a ring on. At the time the photos were snapped, Vrabel was already married to wife Jen, while Russini said I do to her now husband, Shake Shack executive Kevin Goldschmidt, just 6 months later. Both share 2 kids with their respective partners. The sportscaster and the NFL coach, whose wedding ring was visible in the photos, were very close to each other throughout the evening, according to our insider, who witnessed Russini's legs in between Vrabel's legs. The eyewitness told Page 6 that Russini and Vrabel were at the hole-in-the-wall bar at around 12 a.m. and stayed for at least an hour, flying under the radar.
No, that was not my 13-year-old daughter. That was the actual NewYorkPost.com Page 6 reporter on the embedded video atop the latest Mike Vrabel story. So, again, that is not a spoof. That's not my daughter trying out for her grammar school journalism class. That was the actual anchor, presenter on the NewYorkPost.com Page 6 website, the embedded video on top of the latest story that dropped today at around noon. And since we last joined you, there have been developments in the last 12 hours, and they've come fast and furious, and so we'll get you updated. We are at Hurricanes down near the Garden in advance of Bruins-Sabres Game 3, which you'll hear here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We got you covered until 6:30, so you got bonus time of Felger and Mazz. So 30 more minutes to pound everything on the table. You know, we're going to do a bunch of Red Sox today, a bunch of Bruins today, and we still will. Bob Beers will join us later on in the program. We'll definitely get to those topics. But we have to start with this. And I'm glad Murray came in here a little last minute here because the parking's different around here today, and it's school vacation week and sort of busy. I was worried he wasn't going to make the top of the show, Mazz, because Murray is so on this, it's not even funny. Yesterday afternoon, the previous last development was yesterday late afternoon, the NewYorkPost.com, Page 6, posted another story of Vrabel and Russini, which was kind of innocuous. It really wasn't much. It was grainy, half-in-focus photos of them having breakfast together.
Yeah.
I put that in air quotes because you couldn't really see him. She was grainy and fuzzy. They weren't great photos at all. But given the context of what we knew about their weekend in Sedona, you knew it was him and her. They just weren't good photos of each other. And they just, Page 6 New York Post has attained new photos of the breakfast. Like, okay, I mean, really not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. And then they added a little reporting, a little context in the new reporting. And this is yesterday afternoon, late yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, it was around 6.
They have an insider that told us that the pair appeared to be trying to go incognito during their weekend at the Ambiente by walking to various places in the resort separately throughout the day.
Oldest trick in the book.
Following their breakfast. You get up first, I'll come, don't walk together. Good grief.
Like JFK Jr. and Caroline Kennedy were doing that in that
right.
talk, right?
Very
They were
good,
doing
Mazz,
the same thing. Keep going.
Quote, one of them would go ahead and then the other would wait for a few seconds or so, and then they would follow a few steps ahead, the source alleged, claiming that it seemed as if they, quote, really didn't want to be seen walking together. So, that was the one sort of detail, and the photos were nothing. And so I didn't really pay the story much attention.
Yeah, because, again, it doesn't, there's nothing substantive there that changes what we already knew.
Not Jim Murray. What'd you say?
I said on the off-air show with you last night, this feels to me like this isn't over, because it felt like there was finality to everything with Vrabel's statement and then taking the off-camera questions from reporters, and it felt like that's it. But I just, not to do the old Joe Murray, but I sniffed something last night. Why is the New York Post ostensibly keeping this going and moving it forward here? Someone's not satisfied. I surmised last night with you, Mike, in the off-air show that Well, it might be done from the Vrabel end, maybe, but it's certainly not for Dianna Russini. So I still believe, like our guy Jared Stillman said, like he is of the understanding that it's Dianna Russini's husband that hired a PI, is what he was told, to follow Dianna Russini. And so there really hasn't been any kind of resolve in terms of her end of this story. So he and the PI are keeping this pushing forward. I just felt like this thing wasn't over last night when we were talking in the first few minutes of the 6 o'clock hour on the off-air show. Like, once we saw these photos, it feels to me this isn't over. And boy, is it not.
Murray's instinct for this is impeccable. Because at 12:10 a.m. this morning.
This is unbelievable.
12:10. Mike Reese, ESPN.com, posts the following story. New England Patriots coach Mike Vrabel won't be with the team for the third day of the NFL draft on Saturday. And then it posts a statement from Mike Vrabel.
And the story says Vrabel said, right?
Well, the first line I read directly from it, New England Patriots coach Mike Vrabel won't be with the team for the third day of the NFL draft on Saturday. And then there's a statement. Quote, here's the statement. As I said the other day, I promised my family, this organization, and this team that I was going to give them the best version of me that I can possibly give them. In order to do so, I have committed to seeking counseling starting this weekend. Vrabel said Wednesday night. So, fair. Did he release a statement or to give this quote to Mike?
So, the way I read it, he spoke to Mike.
Yeah, sounds right.
Like, because otherwise Mike would write, Vrabel indicated in a statement released through the team.
You know, good for you.
I would think that,
Okay, frankly, what's the difference?
Well, I don't know. There's something a little bit more intimate about a phone call that you have the guy call.
Sure.
But at midnight?
I think for all intents and purposes, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The Patriots are doing business with ESPN.
For sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
So, anyway, I've committed to seeking counseling starting this weekend, Vrabel said Wednesday night. This is something that I've given a lot of thought to and is something I would advise a player to do if I was counseling them. I've always wanted to lead by example, and I believe this is what I have to do to be the best husband, father, and coach that I can possibly be. This is not an easy thing for me to admit, but it is one that I know will make me a better person. I appreciate the support that everyone has given me and promise a stronger resolve as a result. I think he was probably reading a statement to Mike.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a spoken. Yeah, I agree.
Reese writes that Vrabel, who has 2 sons with his wife Jen, plans to be with his family this weekend outside of Massachusetts. Vrabel said he will still be in contact with the Patriots on Saturday for the final day of the draft. But he expressed confidence in Executive VP Elliot Wolf and VP of Player Personnel Ryan Cowden to lead the draft room.
How does that work, by the way? May I just...
Well, let me just stop for 1 second. So to get you up to date, that was last night just after midnight. Today at noon, here comes the NewYorkPost.com and Page 6 and the aforementioned Lacey Underwalt, whoever that was there, with the report. She was just reading what was in the story. Pictures of Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini all over each other at a secluded bar in New York City 6 years ago, holding hands, hugging, sharing a kiss, further canoodling. 6 years ago at a dimly lit Tribeca Tavern in the early hours of March 11th, 2020. At the time, the photos were snapped, writes the Post. Vrabel was already married to his wife, Jen, while Russini said, I do to her now husband, Shake Shack executive Kevin Goldschmidt, just 6 months later.
That poor guy.
Each shares 2 kids with their respective partners. Russini has 2 sons. You know what one is named?
Michael.
Page 6 contacted both Vrabel and Russini on Wednesday afternoon regarding the photos. While neither commented for this story, Vrabel told ESPN just hours later that he will miss day 3 of the NFL draft to enter counseling. So, Murray, just to piece this together. Go ahead. Piece it all together now.
Well, so I woke up this morning. Look, you listen to me long enough, you know I'm a cynic. And my baseline is everyone's full of crap. So I read that Tiger Woods playbook nonsense from Mike Vrabel to Mike Reese this morning, which I'm so sorry, and now I got to go to counseling. I'm a sex addict, and woe is me. And I was like, you're so full of it.
He didn't say any of that. But
no, I know, but you know what I mean. I'm playing it up. This is what it felt like to me. I was like, okay, there is more. There's more coming. And we get these photos around noon from the New York Post. And as he said, as it turns out, reading from Pro Football Talk, the New York Post contacted Mike Vrabel regarding new photos of Vrabel and Dianna Russini for March 2020. This is all performative nonsense. It's performative nonsense. He's not real. I don't think that he really feels bad. I mean, I'm sure he feels bad for what had happened to his poor wife and his poor kids. But what he really feels bad about, and he's got caught. This has been going on for at least 6 years. And that poor husband of hers, too. And he's been lying in wait for years, waiting to get her. And now he's finally struck. I'm more than ever convinced of it. And she's going to have to say something. So, I knew it. My crackpot theory I put to you, I had two of them this morning. One, these difficult conversations that he had with his family were just a crock. Oh, yeah, no, I know what it looks like, but babe, it's just platonic, I swear. And then, boom, we get more photos last night with even the more possibility of more to come, which they did end up coming today at noon. And then it's back to the crisis management team or the Patriots. And now he has to go to his wife and say, oh, sorry, babe. These sex demons, they're coming for me at night. I don't know what to do about them. I can't stop them. We all need to go to counseling. By the way, I still need to check in with the team on Saturday. So we're leaving town, and we're all going to kumbaya with a therapist, and we're all crying at each other's shoulders. And then the phone rings. Hold on, guys. I'm really, really sorry, and I'm sorry for the 6 years of cheating, maybe more, who knows. I got to take this. Huh? The Cowboys want to trade with us? Yeah, do it. No, that sounds like a good deal. Oh, back to the crying and on each other's shoulders. It's all performative nonsense on his end. And then how is she going to play this? Because she's obviously got a lot to say. So that was my first crackpot theory. What ended up being the right one, because he knew more was coming. Or the Crafts knew this was also coming. And maybe from the football end, it doesn't look good. If you're a team that always thought the Patriots were up to something, wouldn't you look at them now and say, how much information was she given to him over the years, whether he was with Tennessee or now with the Patriots? This all seems sketchy. Has this all been on the level? Has she given information that I've given her before to help him, to benefit him, because they've been in a relationship this whole time? So maybe they were trying to cover up the football end of it, because they know once she starts squawking and they start looking at her phone, or she has things to say, it's going to make it all look bad. And they've been playing up the A.J. Brown thing. He said more about his knees, bad knees, to try to lower the cost to get A.J. Brown here. Like, if I'm in another team that think the Patriots have been up to something for years, don't you now pounce on this?
617-779-0985.
To his point, did you hear what they played on the midday show today?
I grabbed it.
Okay.
From 6 years ago.
I'm not sure if you're talking about the Ryan Tannehill reporting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly right.
Which occurred, I believe, the day before or the day after.
It was the day before.
The day before those Tribeca tavern shots were taken.
March 11, 2020. Tom Brady signed with Tampa Bay 6 days later.
And her reporting at the time, which a clip you'll hear later on in the show, was,
holy crap.
I don't think the Titans are going to do it. They've had some internal discussions, and they've decided internally they're going to stick with Ryan Tannehill. Because remember, the Titans were one of the teams that Brady was linked to. And she came out with some fresh reporting that said, I don't think so. They've had internal discussions about it, but their main priority here is Ryan Tannehill, from what I've learned. Okay, so is it over, Murray?
No, absolutely not. No, we have yet to get her end of this.
Well, it's not just that.
I'm with Murray.
Okay, it's not just that. It's just, think about it, okay? So Vrabel is just sort of these half measures, okay? Like we said, I think he did a good job the other day with his statement. He stopped the bleeding. But it was certainly short of a full admission or a full mea culpa or full throwing yourself at the mercy of the public. So now the New York Post calls Vrabel on Wednesday afternoon and says, we've got more. What are you going to do about it? And Vrabel says, humana. While he's thinking, is that what that was then yesterday afternoon? It was just a little...
It was a taste.
It was a little like...
Just a taste.
Listen, Mike, we're not letting this go. And just so you know, this isn't what we got. This isn't the good stuff. But this is just a little reminder. Let us send you a little reminder of what we're doing here. We're not effing around. Here are the breakfast photos. Here's another, but it's just a little taste. Just remember, we're here with our finger on the button. What are you going to do about it? And so now he knows it's up. And they scrambled to call their partners at ESPN, get out a statement, and now he's going to counseling. Okay, and then the New York Post follows through with the noon thing today, which is from 6 years ago. So all it confirms is that if you thought they were having an affair, okay, so it doesn't really advance the story. It just further exposes the lies and what's been going on to this point. Do they still have more?
Maybe.
What's coming next? All right. Wow. Is this a football story? Let me ask you this. Let me set this up by asking you this question. Who's in charge of Patriots personnel? Who has final say on the Patriots personnel?
Mike Vrabel.
He's not going to be there.
Exactly.
For the third day of the draft, he's not going to be there.
It is now a football story.
He's not going to be there on a day that I don't care about. I'm not going to pretend like I care about your fifth-round picks. I don't. But they do, and the football world does. So the man in charge of making those picks is not going to be there. This doesn't matter. Does it matter?
It matters now.
Does it matter a little bit more now?
Yes.
Yeah. You can't say this is now a non-story because now it is literally affecting the team.
And what is up with the day 3?
I know. I don't get that either. No, this thing spilled over the lid now. Like, for those that wanted to keep it contained to a non-football story, it is now spilled onto the table because it is now spilled into football. Vrabel's going to miss day 3. And then the question you're asking, so what, day 3 doesn't count? Like, that's not part of the draft? How come you can't?
I mean, I don't care about it.
No, but the point is,
they have 8 picks.
It's part of the draft.
They have 8 picks that day, and those picks will forever be linked to Mike Vrabel if they suck or F up on the field. Now, I think my theory, why he is going on the Saturday instead of waiting until Monday or another day, because, the counselor's not available at the beginning of the week, please. I think it's part of his mea culpa and trying to fix his relationship with his wife and kids, saying, like, I'll show you how much this means to me. I'll even go away with you and go get counseling during the draft. Huh? I'll still take the calls, but I'll go away during the draft.
Is it a de facto suspension?
Maybe it's that.
I rule out nothing. The other thing that crossed my mind is, has the Post told him there's something coming on Sunday?
That's what, The Post ain't messing around with Mike Hawley credit for this. He said this on TV the very first night, then April 7th or whatever, the very first thing. He says, if I were Vrabel and Russini, I would not mess around with these people. These people, meaning the Post and these gossip columnists, that for some reason the general public dismiss as like just making stuff up. It's just the opposite. They are held to the same libel laws that you and I are. They don't get any more deference because it's TMZ or Page 6. So they're as careful as any New York Times reporter, maybe more. And if don't mess with them, because whatever they release, they got more. And if you challenge them, they'll come back with more.
Mike, the first time this thing happened, they gave him 2 days to refute it. They gave him 2 days. And so I wonder now that they went to Vrabel this time, did they give him, is there something else that they're giving him time to address?
Okay.
Like they've given him time.
That's the latest.
This has gone from, I thought, over to DEFCON 1 level Patriot S-Storm, I think.
That's the latest. Where does it go from here? Your thoughts right after these words.
Bruins Buffalo tonight at the Garden. Felger and Mazz right now at Hurricanes at the Garden. Brought to you by Coors Light, Blue Mountains Cold Beer, Bruins Red 98.5 The Sports Hub.
And the problem is they drew a stupid line in the sand right out of the gates. And this is what happens when the knee-jerk reaction is circle the wagons. When you're operating out of the Roy Cohn playbook. Deny, 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 attack, 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 dismiss, 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 and never relent. This is laughable. Laughable. Doesn't deserve any further response. And look how far we've come in 16 days. And look how foolish Vrabel looks, the Patriots look, Dianna Russini looks, The Athletic looks for what they said at the time, given what's happened the last couple of days between Vrabel's statement and missing the third day of the draft to go to counseling on a Saturday.
Well, it's
unbelievable how far this has come.
If I'm Vrabel, the timeline of this whole thing would worry me. The timeline would worry me. So, I was saying to you before we even came on the air today, this was 6 months before she got married.
Yeah.
She has since had 2 kids in her marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the husband, do you want paternity tests?
Yeah.
I would. I just think, like, who knows what else is spiraling off of this thing. And look, stuff happens. I get it. But the fact that this thing keeps getting worse for Vrabel with every few days is not a good feeling right now, and especially not if you're the Patriots.
So quickly, what you just said, someone alerted to me this. I retweeted it. So one of the kids' names is Michael, like you said. August 11th, 2021. Keep looking at my almost 4-day-old son, Michael, while trying to figure out who are the best Michaels to ever play and coach in the NFL. From Dianna Russini on Twitter. Oof.
So, that is, I don't want to say that, well, listen, your thoughts. David and Lawrence, lead us off. David, go ahead.
Hi, guys. I'm here. I appreciate how much you guys have been covering this. Murray is spot on. These guys, Vrabel has been in so much denial. Zolak, Bedard, they're not doing anything to cover it. It's an insult. I hope he gets buried. And I'm sorry for his family most of all. Have a good day.
Okay. Without knowing exactly what's happened, but to this point, does he deserve to lose his job over this?
No. Look, again, to me, in order to lose his job, there has got to be some sort of either legal issue. And now, look, whether the Patriots want to fire him because they think he doesn't live up to some sort of image. I mean, a lot of people thought Udoka shouldn't have been fired, Mike.
Right. Listen.
I didn't think he should have been fired.
This was off-air show, Les. I don't like anyone getting fired for anything. It makes me sick. I don't like it when people lose their jobs. I'm all in favor of calling someone out or disciplining someone or, criticizing wrong behavior, but losing a job, I don't think anyone should lose their job for anything. I sort of lean on that side of it. So I don't think he should lose his job. I think he deserves what he's getting, and he should be buried. Well, I don't know. I don't know exactly what he's done, but to this point, don't you think he's now sort of suffering the consequences?
Yes, definitely.
We asked this before when Russini lost her job and came out with statements that, again, were complete bunk. But at least she put something on the record. She made a further statement, and then she lost her job. She bore the consequences. And there was a time in this story where we were asking, well, what is he borne? Where are his consequences? Okay, now here we are. Today, this moment. Can we say he started to bear some consequences from this?
Yes, definitely, 100%.
Now, how much more? I don't know. The only one that really matters in that context is Robert Kraft. So to this point, I don't know. I can't fathom that Robert Kraft, who knows the human condition himself, would fire him for something like this. Now, did Vrabel lie to the Krafts about something?
So that's different. Yeah, that's different.
Was he lying to them like he was lying to everybody else, apparently? Different story.
Correct.
Okay, so
if they feel like they can't trust him,
Yeah.
that's a whole different story.
If they said to him when they were going through the hiring process and they feel like they know him, hey, look, Mike, you got no skeletons, right? Other than the ones we know of.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, nothing. And, then they have cause.
Right. So that's right. Jimmy Stewart, back in our Town for Tire Stewards, were you going to say something?
I was not.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I heard something down the line. We are coming to you from Hurricanes at the Garden in advance of Bruins Sabres Game 3, which we will get to, I promise. How about Zach in South Boston? Hi, Zach.
Hey, guys. First time, long time. If that photo is from 2020, it's kind of impressive to go that long without getting caught, first off. I'd say it's a ticking time bomb at this point. Like Murray said, there's got to be more out there. And also, who says I do just after 6 months, that poor guy?
Well, no. But you're reading into. We don't know how long they were together at that point. It says 6 months later, Russini got married, but that doesn't mean she wasn't already with him when she was with Vrabel in the bar.
Right, but the point is she was carrying on with Vrabel before she got married.
Correct.
So, and based on the photos from 2 weeks ago, it feels like they've continued to carry on.
Absolutely,
to some level.
Yeah, that's logical.
So maybe her husband's on the warpath. Hard to blame him. Andrew in Fairhaven. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. First, happy for Vrabel that he's gotten counseling, whether he's doing it for himself or if he's doing it just because he got caught. But I'm with Big Jim. Where does this thing end? Russini, Vrabel sex tape on Pornhub. And to switch gears real quick, Red Sox suck. Bresl's a bigger stiff than what Vrabel gave to Russini. Have a good day.
You stop. Yeah.
Working on that one a while.
We don't need to go there, yeah.
Who's getting porked worse? Red Sox fans or okay. The what was I going to say about with sex tape. Yeah. Stuff like that. I don't know. Are there other shoes to drop? Is it if Vrabel needed counseling, why didn't he just come out and do it immediately? Why wasn't this part of his statement 2 days ago? This came midnight on Wednesday.
Correct.
He walked to the podium at 11 a.m. on Tuesday. How come that wasn't part of the reporting?
Why didn't he need counseling 2 weeks ago when he put in a statement, and I quote, "These photos show a completely innocent interaction, and any suggestion otherwise is laughable."
So he was completely in denial by then. I thought that when he hit the podium on Tuesday morning, he had given it up. He'd laid down his arms. He was no longer in denial. He tacitly admitted in tone and tenor what was going on. Apparently not, because now there's counseling.
Right.
Suddenly, Wednesday at midnight, after these further New York Post photos came out,
because it was getting worse.
Something happened.
Yeah, he had to.
Something happened between. Again, if he was going to miss day 3 of the draft and go into counseling, and that was always the plan, we would have known that Tuesday morning.
Correct.
So something happened between Tuesday morning podium, Wednesday at midnight, and the New York Post had a couple different dispatches. Maybe that was it. Maybe there's still more, but something happened.
Yeah, look, let's not I'm not trying to pry into his family life, but let's not leave that part of it out of here. Because again, if his wife when this whole thing happened, let's just say his excuse was, look, this was a one-off thing, no big deal.
Right, yes.
I'm sorry,
yes,
but it'll never happen again. And now all of a sudden, 6 years
now
ago,
he's got to go back and explain to his wife.
No, it's been going on for 6 years?
It's actually been 6. Are we sure it's 6?
Right. Is it 6 or was it 10?
Or what?
Right, exactly right. So for him, it just got a hell of a lot more complicated. And if he's put it this way, if he's only providing information in pieces as he goes, then it's going to keep getting worse.
Meanwhile, a day that I don't care about. I'm not going to pretend that I care about day 3 of the draft. I personally do not. A lot of you do. The team does, for sure. And the guy in charge of making the decisions is not going to be there because of this. So that's really the football-related item. And it's not a small one, I don't think. Here's an update with Big Jim, and we're right back.
Game 3 of the playoffs. Felger and Mazz playing games at Hurricanes at the Garden right now. Brought to you by Coors Light, official partner of the Boston Bruins on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
I'm starting to wonder if Mike Vrabel's going to coach this season for the Patriots, or if this is going to be one of those Bobby Petrino situations where Arkansas makes the Sugar Bowl, and then the next year he's not the coach, and on an emergency basis, John L. Smith is running the team. Vrabel's a football coach. Russini's a reporter. A reporter has to be trusted. A reporter has to be unbiased. A reporter has to be. So that's why Dianna couldn't do her job if she was having an affair with a source. Vrabel's a football coach. The football coach's job is to win games. So when this story broke, I said, I think Dianna is done for, and I think Vrabel will just go on and coach the Patriots. Now, I think a little bit of that aura of the great Mike Vrabel will be tarnished because of this. But as far as it affecting his ability to coach the Patriots, I didn't think the assistant coaches would care. I didn't think the players would care. And I figured Vrabel could address it once and move on and coach. Now Vrabel's missing day 3 of the draft? Whoa.
Yeah, that's our guy Jared Stillman down in Tennessee. Yeah, not a small deal to be the lead decision maker, the final say on personnel, and then not be there for the draft, even day 3. Not a small deal.
No, I think it's basically equivalent to like a leave of absence.
And what the hell? They have to go on Saturday to counseling? When counseling?
They can wait till Monday.
Why can't it start Monday? Why is it Saturday?
Because, again, my theory is that because he's in such hot water, he wants to save his family. Yeah, either she said, we need to do this now. I tend to think this whole thing's performative. So what he's doing is, babe, I'll show you this. This means so much to me that I'll even put work to the side to save the marriage and the family. We'll go on Saturday, the least important day of the draft. We'll go on Saturday. See, huh? Take me back. That's. I don't know. Yeah, that's one of my crackpot theories behind it because it makes no logistical sense why they can't just wait until the beginning of the week.
Murray's right. It doesn't make sense.
Of course it doesn't.
Just wait one more day. What's the difference at that point?
Unless maybe give me Florio Sims number 2, if you could there, Stu, if you could. Please, again, this is Florio Sims today before the New York Post had its latest dispatch at noon. Go ahead.
One, is it more serious than we imagined? Or two, is this really about the blowback? And they're just trying to say, hey, we're holding our guy accountable too. We know that Dianna Russini's had to deal with some issues here, but we're just trying to let you know that, look, we're going to make our guy miss the third day of the draft because we're holding him accountable here, and he's got to fix some things. I mean, it almost feels like it's almost PR-ish to me too, Mike. And again, I give respect to Vrabel for going to do it and putting his best foot forward and all that. Not trying to be negative there, but yeah, the timing of it is curious. There's no doubt about that.
So it's the Patriots saying to maybe women fans or the segment of their fan base that is put off by this, and there is some.
Oh, yeah.
We're holding him accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the way we're doing it. He's not going to be here for day 3 of the draft. We're making sure he's getting the help. And they're not calling it a suspension, but this is we're holding him accountable. He's holding himself accountable. She bore the consequences. He's bearing the consequences.
Yeah, look.
I like this theory, too.
Sure, absolutely.
It's still performative.
It is. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely performative. It's also possible that they have more information that we don't. I mean, what if I'm not accusing anyone of anything. What if there are other women?
Of course. And this is what we're asking. Are we still not even down to the real truth of the matter?
What if it's not just her? So, there's all types of possibilities, and all the questions are legitimate. So, yeah, it's all open now.
I promise. Back to your phones. And we're going to put off Mazz's tears for a minute, don't you?
Fine, no problem.
Mind?
No, not at all. No.
Wipe those tears, man.
This is kind of a big story.
There's still too much to unpack.
Oh, my gosh, is there ever?
We continue the unpacking with your calls. Long commercial-free segment is next.
Playoff hockey tonight at the Garden. Felger and Mazz right now at Hurricanes at the Garden. Brought to you by Coors Light. Blue Mountains Cold Beer. Bruins ready. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
The feeling has been if Tom Brady leaves New England, Tennessee is the likeliest destination. I don't feel like you feel that way. Tell us why.
Why does everyone think that is the perfect match? Is it because
of the
head
relationship with Mike Vrabel, because of how good that team seems to be with a great running game, because of a more favorable division perhaps that he could go and try and win? Maybe we're putting together 2 and 2 and coming up with 5.
Yeah, I think at this point it's a bit of a stretch. I think Tom Brady certainly has interest in playing with the Tennessee Titans. I think the Titans flirted with the idea. They liked it, maybe have had some meetings to discuss it, but in the end, they want to go with Ryan Tannehill. Whether or not they can figure out how they're going to make that work contractually, we still need to figure out. But you have to figure if they can't come up with a contract that works for Ryan Tannehill and the Titans, they'll most likely tag him. Because remember, they have Derrick Henry, who they're going to most likely need to pay. But in terms of Brady's interest in playing in Nashville, he certainly would love that opportunity. But from what I can gather, it does not seem like the Tennessee Titans are all in on Tom Brady.
Kind of information Dianna Russini was getting, which I want to say up front is she got it because of her relationship with Mike Vrabel. It might have been personal and physical and all of that, but that's how insiders get it. They have relationships with people, and then they get information, and
sure,
they may not be playing footsie in a hot tub or making out at a bar in Tribeca, but, it's how the sausage was made, but this is how that sausage was made.
Correct.
Because that happened on March 10th. That cut was from March 10th, 2020. Tom Brady's a free agent. No one knows where he's going to go. Dianna Russini comes out on March 10th of 2020. Says, from what I've gleaned, from what I've gathered, the Titans are not in on Tom Brady. They're going to try and re-sign Ryan Tannehill. It was excellent information that proved to be true. That night is when she was in the bar with Mike Vrabel. Those photos were taken in the early hours of March 11th. So it was that night that she went out on the town with Vrabel.
Yep.
So all that stuff is being put together now, and it just continues. Your thoughts, Dan, in the car. Go ahead, Dan.
So there was a day when every major news market in America had a broadsheet tabloid rivalry. And this topic proves that the biggest one that ever exists is alive and well. The white knight, black sheep juxtaposition of the New York Times and the New York Post is alive and well in this story. When the black sheep little brother finds substantial dirt on the white knight big brother, they're not going to let it go. The only thing you can do to make it worse when evidence is presented to you is your reaction is to flex with hubris and a dismissive approach. Hey, New York Times, don't lecture us on ethical journalism. And if you think it's laughable, who's laughing now?
Okay. So It is a post times thing. Time zones.
The Post loves this. Are you kidding?
As they should.
Oh, again, they love it. Absolutely. It's one of the Times people.
Thank God for the New York Post.
Yes, absolutely.
And I used to say thank God for the Boston Herald, but apparently we don't do that kind of thing anymore. They don't do that kind of thing anymore.
I mean, that cut just completely changes the whole perspective. Like, now I have all these questions about the Tennessee Titans. And what was going on there? Like, was there a dispute internally? Did Vrabel want him? Other people didn't?
Ryan in Atlanta. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, guys. It feels like the good old days. The Patriots are winning football games and cheating is happening. But I agree with Murray and all his theories because that was the first thing I thought. My big concern outside of the whole cheating thing is the fact that Vrabel got on a press conference and said, yeah, I talked to A.J. Brown throughout the year. We text. And Dianna Russini reports that. It's like collusion all over the place. I'm like, he has to stop talking. He has to stop talking.
So he admitted that at the podium.
Yeah, right.
So that's not a report from Dianna Russini.
No, it's not.
It's not.
I mean, he gave that to everybody.
Yeah.
She didn't get any sort of inside dope there, at least not that day.
Is he going to counseling just because of the Dianna Russini thing?
I don't follow you.
Is he missing day 3 of the draft and going to counseling just because of what we know with Dianna Russini? Is that enough for him to miss day 3 of the draft and be pushed into emergency counseling?
I mean, I don't think so, but go ahead, Mazz.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm driving at is there something else there? Like there has been from the start. There's been more to the story from the start. Is there still more to the story?
Yeah, maybe.
Does it feel like, if he's being suspended or he's missing day 3, or he's been going to counseling on day 3 of the draft on Saturday? Not Monday when the center opens or the facility opens on Saturday. Or going away with his family on the weekend, going into counseling, missing day 3 of the draft. Is it just because of this Dianna Russini thing? I mean, I don't know the answer, but it feels to me a little much just for the Dianna Russini thing.
I would agree.
And I would say even the new revelation that it was going on for 6 years, apparently.
Correct. Again, unless his wife didn't know that. Unless he lied. Like, I don't want to leave that part of it out because that's a big detail.
No, and that is possible.
That's a big detail.
No, that is.
If the wife says you're not doing the final weekend, you're not doing the final day of the draft, that or me, then he's got that. Like, so
and that could be on the table. Again, this is what I think you're coming around to what I'm saying. That she could have said, look, show me how much this means to you or I'm going to divorce your ass. You don't give all of your attention to this draft this weekend. Take this time off. Come away with me and the kids. We'll go away and we'll try to figure this out. All right, babe, fine. We'll do it.
Kids, they're grown men.
I know. Believe me, I'm with you.
I have some. If she wants advice for her, I have some.
Okay, but leave the kids out of it. Like, because as you said, just her. They've been married for, 25 years or something? If she's pissed and issues him an ultimatum, he's got a serious decision to make.
Okay, so maybe that's it.
So that's only one possibility, though. Let's not go too far with it either. It's one possibility. Another possibility, and I'm just throwing crap against the wall. What if the Post has more, and the Post says, we're coming out with more in the Sunday paper. We're giving you a heads up now. And he says, let's get out of Dodge.
The question is, I don't know, but it feels to me that if he was going to do the counseling thing and miss day 3, we would have known this on Monday night into Tuesday.
It's logical.
Tuesday is when he laid down his arms. Tuesday is when he faced the cameras. Tuesday is when he gave up the denials. Tuesday was the day. So why wasn't it all one piece on Tuesday morning? I'm responsible. You're going to see a better version of me. It comes out I'm not going to be here on the weekend because I'm seeking counseling. It feels like all one tidy package that should have all been handled on Tuesday morning. Nope. This last round came Wednesday at midnight. So why? What else is going on behind that we don't know? Chad in Marble. Yes, Chad.
Hey, I'm here. So I got a question on, is this possibly why the Patriots also brought in Josh McDaniels?
No. It's just not. No.
I don't think it's related at all.
I think they brought in Josh McDaniels last year for several reasons of which we've discussed. None having to do with Mike Vrabel allegedly, apparently running around. They had to do with the fact that he's loyal to the Crafts. McDaniels is. He's still being paid by the Raiders. And the Krafts wanted some of their people in the middle of Vrabel's cabal. They weren't just going to give the whole building to Mike Vrabel. They also like Josh, think he does a good job with quarterbacks, which he does. Josh is good at his job. Let's put that on top of it. It's not like they brought back Alex Van Pelt because they know him and he's cheap. But they know Josh. They like Josh. Josh is good at his job. He's loyal to the Krafts. And did I mention he's being paid by somebody else?
Yeah, I agree with you on all.
Those are the reasons he's here.
I agree with you on all this, but something that was floated from our TV producer at NBC Sports Boston, Vinny Crouch, and credit to him for this. Do you now look at Terrell Williams, now that he's healthy and back, getting that title of assistant head coach a little differently about a month ago?
No.
No?
No.
I don't either. I think that was a solid for Terrell Williams.
I agree. I
think Vrabel took care of him because the guy lost his job in what you would consider to be an unfortunate manner.
How about Tim in the car on this? Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, guys, quick question. Do you think that before Vrabel gave those initial comments about what happened to the public, that he got called in to talk to Jonathan, Robert, Stacy, and or some combination of the three? Because I do. And if he did, there's no scenario they would ever let him go out and tell a different story publicly. So he lied. And we've seen this before with the Krafts when they called in a player and said, tell me you weren't involved in something. I know it's different because someone died, but he's a front-facing, public-facing guy, and it's a privilege to have that job, and he lied to the owner. Let's face it, Bob Kraft wouldn't have his job today for his little rubber-tug-a-palooza if he didn't own the team. That's a fact. And look at Tiger Woods. Luckily, he's pretty much self-employed, but he did lose every sponsorship that he had, multi-million dollars, because his public conduct was unbecoming to his profession. I'm sorry, Mike, I disagree. He ought to lose his job immediately from the stink that's on it. No pun intended.
Okay. So I think he was referring to the initial statement to the Post that these were innocent interactions and any other suggestion is laughable. If he told the Krafts that, too, that changes it.
Of course.
I still don't know if it's fireable on their end. You know, he was in denial. He's cheating, and allegedly, apparently cheating, and he doesn't want to own up to it. He's not ready to own up to it, didn't want to own up to it. So I suppose I would figure that most people who cheat lie, and they lie about it till they can't anymore. Like, I just think that's kind of understood.
What if he lied? What if he lied to them about the nature of the relationship, and then they found out, wait a minute, they got pictures from 6 years ago.
So what's a fireable offense? I think lying to your owner, setting your owner up to look bad. You know, your owner stands behind you. I mean, this is why I'm sure The Athletic was pissed. They initially backed Dianna Russini. Then her boss came out and said these pictures were taken out of context. She has our full support. She's one of the best. And then they realized, oh, you lied to us too. Bye.
And people on the staff were upset about it.
Okay, so does the same thing apply to Vrabel? I mean, to some degree.
Yeah, look, there are a million possibilities. It could be some combination of multiples that why he's not going to be there on Saturday, but it's not for nothing.
George in New Hampshire, go.
Yeah, Mike, give me 45 seconds, please.
30.
The Patriots have become one of the sleaziest organizations in all of sports. And it starts at the top, Mike. You got Kraft, all of his transgressions, Belichick, all of his crap, and now you got Vrabel. I told you 2 weeks ago when this broke, he's not going to survive this. And he's not. He is not going to survive this, Mike, and it's laughable.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
I think he's going to survive, but then again, I didn't think we'd be here a week later with him missing the draft.
Yeah. If I thought it was 0% yesterday, though, I will say it's maybe 5 to 10%. If he had to go away for a year, would you be surprised?
At this point, maybe not.
That part, maybe he's put on ice for a season.
But back to the thing about the sleaziest organization in sports. There is something about them that's different. And I know you all like to act that it's like they hate us because they ain't us. I hate to break it to you. I know there's a lot of dirt out there in pro sports and a lot of dirt with these NFL teams. It feels like there's a little more dirt here, isn't there?
Well, I mean, you can go through the list if you want.
I mean,
it's been a lot.
Don't make us bring it all up. But there's something a little worse here than anywhere else you can name me. I don't know. And you can be in denial of it if you want, or not care if you don't want to care. But don't tell me that you can go to other organizations and run down the list, the litany of things that we've had to go through here.
Bengals?
Maybe. I don't know.
What'd you say?
Bengals.
Oh, Bengals.
I mean, there was a time the Bengals had him beat. That's for sure. I don't know. I think you've lapped them.
Well, yeah, the Raiders years ago had all kinds of crap. But no, look, I mean, the list is what it is.
Oh, my God, and the way they effing carry themselves is just nauseating. Like there's some sort of higher plane or this higher calling or this, like, good grief. And it really is quite literally one thing after the next with these guys. One thing after the next. And again, I don't know if you care or not, but that's just the fact. It's worse with this group than anyone else I can think of. Here's 90 seconds for Murray's update, and then we're right back.